creating light in these dark times. Razor blade thoughts always equal sharp minds. Full of joy, but still putting out harsh rhymes. The underdogs are growling cause this is our time. Everybody wanna have success in their life, but with that can surely come stress in your life. Stay positive, only want the best in your life. Move forward and happy for the rest of your life. I used to sit around and daydream about owning a castle when I would play king. But then I realized being rich means nothing if you ain't rich at heart, cause that's the main thing. All these women wanna be just like Beyonce, sipping lemonade, living out what the songs say. Men like Jay, but I'm myself making only good music, and I ain't even signed to Kanye.
Living the life, living the life, living the life, living the life.
Got us on IG Live too.
Sitting good, huh?
Yeah,
all
man.
right. Hell yeah. What's up, Instagram? Beautiful. Dave, thanks for sitting in.
Absolutely, man.
Coming to you live on Instagram.
Yeah.
We'll go up on the YouTubes a little bit later.
Nice.
We are sitting in the venue side of the Golden Margarita.
Yeah.
On Roosevelt Row.
Originally Paz Cantina.
Originally Paz Cantina. Good spot, great location. I love filming here, just being here. The vibe is great.
Yeah.
And today, guys, I am joined by David Miranda, a man of many hats. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you, man.
Long time coming?
Yeah, man. Absolutely, man. Thank you for having me, man.
No, my pleasure for sure, man. Guys, Dave, at this moment, we're going to get into it all.
Yeah.
But at this moment, one of the main projects you're working on is Just Give Me 5.
Just Give Me 5. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
First off, hey, how's that going? And tell me how it came about.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's going well. We're fairly roughly about 7 months in now. Shout out to my brother Jimmy Nelson. You know, he's my business partner, man. He's also the one that handles all of the filming. So in 2000, well, let me first off say that Jimmy and I have known each other for over 16 years. In 2005, I was working on my debut album, Melodic, and he was my engineer.
Okay.
So he engineered the whole thing. So we go back, man. And in 2019, I had this idea. I originally wanted to do a documentary on the scene.
Okay,
right?
okay.
Procrastination comes, at its finest, of course, like always. Get those voices in your head that like, you can't do that shit. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, maybe I can't,
Mm-hmm.
Then all of a sudden, fast forward time, now you got, the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like, okay, well, now we can't even be around people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let alone doing interviews. Like, I can't even be around people, right?
Yep.
All this weird shit. So what I did is I started noticing a lot of people were gravitating towards Instagram heavy, because everyone was home. So what they were doing is they were doing a lot of like IG Live interviews.
Yeah.
So I was gravitated toward, man, because I was seeing, big people, that I grew up on telling these stories. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it was just real historic. And I was like, yo, this is dope, man. And so, I told Jimmy, I said, well, let's approach this, man. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to do something a little different. I'm thinking just 5, man, like something in regards to 5. I was telling him, I was like, let's just do something with 5. It's not 5 minutes because that'll be too short. But let's do something. Maybe I just ask him 5 questions.
Okay.
And I go and they won't be random questions. I was like, no, let's have it to where it's like something that has to do with obviously what they do, but we'll throw in a little extra stuff, a little extra sauce. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so he was totally with it. And if you notice, so when you watch the episodes, they still have like a mini documentary feel.
Huge. The intros are great.
So you know what I mean?
The production value is really good, man.
Absolutely, man. And so he, so we still ran with that original 2019 idea. You know what I mean? To have something like that.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, it's a mini doc. I mean, it's more one-on-one with them, but
right.
Ultimately, that's what people are tuning in for.
For sure, sure, absolutely. And so, so we started rolling with that, and I was like, yo, let's do a promo vid, just kind of test the water, see what people's reactions will be. We filmed that at Heritage Square Park. Filmed that, knocked that out, and like people went crazy. They were like, "Yo," and a lot of it, I'm sure, had to do with a lot of with my absence from the industry and the music. So it was like, wow, it was just the excitement of seeing, wow, Miranda's doing something again creatively.
Yeah, and I would say Miranda's doing something again, but also Dave is doing something wild, crazy. Dave, man, with those funny posts.
Yeah,
and it's like it's your personality online is very infectious, and it's very engaging. People engage with your posts a lot, so it like says something about the personality and who you've been through the scene in general.
Yeah.
And people gravitate towards that. So when they see that you're doing something, you're behind this,
right.
They know that kind of know what type of passion and quality to expect.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
So I would say it's the idea is great, but also the person executing it is awesome. And hats off to your boy Jimmy, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. You nailed it. I mean, that's genuinely what it is. It's like people, the way you treat people, throughout your journey and stuff that's how you're going to be remembered in the end. Yeah. And I've always just tried to just treat people fair. You know what I'm saying? Granted, we're all young. We all, when we're young, we all make mistakes. You know what I mean? It's this is a part of growing.
And when you're hustling and you're like, I deserve a certain level of, a respect or just that expectation, when you feel like, hey, I'm out here hustling, man, I should get something in return. It can bring out, some negative aspects in all of us. I think we've all been there to an extent.
Oh, absolutely. But you always got to know your worth. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think unfortunately a lot of people end up passing away never knowing their worth.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Damn, I think you shouldn't have regrets in life, but I think that's one of them that if you had to have one, I mean, that would be one there, because that's something that's gratifying for yourself. I mean, that's speaking on you. You know what I mean? It's like, and your worth, your value. Yeah. And you always want to add value to life, man. So, but getting back to, so the show, we dropped the promo vid, did real well. People were excited. I said, all right, man, well, I think we got something here, man. So let's pull the trigger. So we ended up doing episode 1, and we had my brother Miranda on, and had to set it off like that. And
that's a good first guess, man.
Yeah, man. And he did phenomenal. And then we just kind of learned from there, and we just kept growing, And originally we were gonna start releasing them bi-weekly, but once we got the format down of how we wanted to do it, I mean, it was like a copy and paste, Exactly. So Jimmy was like, "Oh, we got this." So we started releasing them every week, and I feel like when you do that, though, it helps to generate the buzz. You get the hype, is there, because it's consistency, man. And consistency is key. It's key. It's the exact same, mentality that I had from all the years of doing music. I was dropping projects after projects. It was video after video. It was a freestyle here or here, it was performances. There was always something that you were going to be getting. To the point where it's like my mission was to never have it to where someone who hasn't seen me in a while can ask me, hey, are you still doing music?
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to get those those individuals who sarcastically ask you that, and they really don't give a shit what you're doing. You know what I mean? They sarcastically, hey, man, still doing that music? They don't give a shit.
Yeah, a little jab back.
Oh, you're getting, that's many times in life I've had that. So, but the whole goal was that you want to make it to where it's like, no one even has to question it, because they just know. Because you're constantly working.
Because you're there.
You're there, man. It's face value. They see it. They hear it. They know it.
Which is the world we live in now. It's like that's posting content online with your Facebook and Instagram stories. It's just I'm here. I'm here, man. Yeah, you're gonna know to expect something from me. For sure. Some frame of content.
Absolutely. And so here we are, man. Like 7 months in. And we're just continuing to grow.
7 months, dude. So really 2021 on the dot, essentially?
We started at December. Damn, man, we started like December 6th.
That's right. I remember you in the coat.
Yep, exactly. Started them, and yeah, man, here we are. And so, just a lot of learning that goes involved into it. And, I wanted to make it to where it was like, I don't know if you're familiar with the show Unsung.
Unsung, no.
So they had Behind the Music. Remember VH1 used to do Behind the Music? Well, then the Oxygen, I believe it's the Oxygen channel, they ended up doing Unsung. And I think Ving Rhames is the narrator.
Whoa, what a freaking...
Yeah, and so they started doing these, and it was just more in depth on the artist. I felt like the coverage of it was just really good. And so I kind of wanted this to be, maybe like covering a lot of the Arizona unsung heroes. And in a sense, it's like our unsung. So because there's so many veterans out here, man, in the scene that were putting in work, and that's where the history comes from. You know what I mean? It's like, you're not getting individuals who are just kind of like a one and done. Yeah, you're getting people who were paying their dues, that were around when I was coming up and before. Because that's where the history is. Those are the stories are. Yeah, and so that's why generally, like, the people that you see that we have on the show, that's who they are. You know what I mean? It's like. And don't get me wrong, I mean, that's not like a shot at any of the newer generation at all, but I just felt like these individuals deserve an opportunity to tell the story.
Yeah, well, it was, for one, harder to get out there.
It was very hard. I mean, there was no social media. I mean, you got guys like, we had Benny RC on the show. You got guys like this who were, around from the 70s, man. Yeah. Where it was black and white flyers, man. I mean, there was...
You had to learn that on the fly, on the streets.
Man, you had to be in the streets, And even myself coming up, I mean, we had MySpace, but, we didn't have like smartphones and TikTok and everything you have now, right?
Well, TikTok has an algorithm, apparently, that when you first sign up for it, it helps promote your first few videos, so you feel like, oh, shoot, this is dope.
I'm getting a lot of love. I'm getting some recognition.
Keep it going. I keep using the app.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and so, so that's where the direction that we started going with it, was, and it's been fun, man.
What was, I guess, the biggest learning curve that you didn't anticipate when you first started it?
Man, to be honest, man, I think really...
Don't tell me it came natural, bro. Don't tell me.
No. But I honestly, I think really what I've learned, man, is that you really don't realize how much talent is in your town until you do a show like this. Yeah. Because originally, it's like, I could have just had it strictly hip hop, and people would have been like, yeah, I get it, Dave, you were an MC. That would have been old after 5 episodes, man.
You think so?
I know so. You got to be diverse with it, man. And I was like, Arizona has, as a scene as a whole, there's so much here, man, that needs to be covered. So I said, man, let's open up, man. Like, let's have the R&B vocalists, bands, you know what I mean? Artists, like actual artists, So we had Honey Bee. Shout out to Honey Bee. We had her on the show, an amazing portrait artist that she is. I just mentioned Benny RC, who was a very known promoter out here. Had a nightclub back in the day that I used to attend and events, back in the day when I was very young.
You were a performer, though. You were paid. So it was actually...
Man, I was chilling, man.
Nice.
We was chilling, man. You know what I mean? And so, so you got individuals like that, and the DJs. I had to show love to the DJs out here. The DJs alone, man. The DJs in the radio scene out here alone could be a complete documentary in itself. Yeah. I mean, it's just so much, man. And so that was the biggest learning curve I learned from it. It was like, geez, man, like right when you think, that you've covered everything, it's like, no, man, damn, I totally forgot about this. I forgot about this. So it's great, man, and so it leaves us room for just more and more to come, you know.
Yeah, and I think the name, like you said, you nailed it with it keeps it simple, but also keeps it open.
Yeah,
because it's not like it could have been hip hop centered, you know. And
right.
there's hip hop is a huge culture. I mean, there's the dancing, there's
of course,
the graffiti,
the
artwork.
b-boy scene, you know. Yeah, absolutely. And so you know, but as far as just like the emceeing aspect of it, I was like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like let's open up a little more, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then let's not make it a male dominance, you know. Like let's have the women on here. There's a lot of women out here that have paid dues, you know, paved the way. You know, I mean, we had Lisa D on. I mean, she was like the first female DJ out here to have a show, paved the way for so many. You know what I mean? And you know, things like that, man. You know, I just felt like, why limit ourselves? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, man. Like, have everybody on there, you know, because that's Arizona. You know what I mean?
And it could appear to be a daunting task when you leave it so open. Yeah. Versus if it's more like centered on something, you kind of maybe you're able to produce like a more centered and more like, okay, this is exactly what we're about here. But once you open it up, some people could see that daunting and be like, well, where do I go?
Right.
But all you got to do is just pick a direction and go that way.
That's
Lean
it,
into
man.
it.
That's
Lean
it.
into it.
That's really it, man. It's like once you get that going and you know the format, I mean, it just everything just starts to fall into place, man.
You can fit them right in and be
you
like,
really
okay.
can.
Yeah.
You really can, man, you know. And so yeah, so it's been awesome, man. And then, you know, I've learned I've learned like really like, you know, on lighting and and sunlight and how those things interact, because you know, like there'll be a location, I'll tell Jimmy like, yeah, man, like, yo, this would be dope, like let's shoot here, you know, and he'll be like, yeah, Dave, you know, it looks dope, but honestly, man, like the sunlight is gonna look terrible. Yeah. And we're both Geminis. You know what I mean? Okay. So the Gemini in me automatically wants to be like, no, but this is what we're gonna do. You know what I mean? But then it's like, no, it's like, you know, that's my brother, that's my little bro, and I trust his opinion. Yeah. But then what Jimmy will also do, just to kind of not leave it in the hang, you know, he'll tell me like, well, no, look, I'll show you, and then he'll take a photo. Or he'll do a still shot or something, and then he'll be like, you see what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's just one of those things. So we just trust each other's, and this is the same way we were with music, when making music. I mean, you know, we hardly ever clashed on creativity. You know, it was always, you know, maybe you should punch here. Yeah. Or maybe you should do this. And then at first I'd be like, well, nah, I don't know, you know what I mean? But just try it, you know. And then you try it and I'm like, damn, sounds a lot better. He goes, you see? You know what I mean? So you just have to trust your instincts and trust who you're working with, and know that, you know, and you know, I respect Jimmy's knowledge on everything, you know, and so that's why we just work together so well, man.
That he has your best interests in mind.
Absolutely, you know what I mean? And because, you know, and then in retrospect, like, you know, I don't want to make us both look bad. Yeah. Because he's a part of this too.
He's slapping his name on it too.
That's
right?
Jimmy, you know what I mean? So this is not just my shit. This is his also. So I don't want to screw anything up for us. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, you got to kick that ego and selfishness out the door, man. So
do you feel like he has to reel you in a lot, man?
Not really. No? I mean, there's certain times, but he's so quick to be like, to do a follow-up and like show me like exactly what's going on. So he won't just be like, nah, I don't, that's not going to work. You know, it's never like that. It's, well, yeah, but it's just, if we watch, you know, and then he'll show me something like, you know, or when we're recording, you know what I mean? It's like, if I'm, just little things, man, that we just correct each other. If I'm saying too much, you know what I mean? Just little things like that, man, that just, you know, that can go a long way. So we just help each other, man. You know what I mean?
So you guys been working together for what, 16?
Yeah, 2000 well, the end of 2004 is when I met him. Shoot. And then we started working in 2005, so it's been about 17 years, 17 roughly.
Years. Bro, you guys know each other. You guys are like in and out, intertwined, like. And what else, dude? Who else have you been that connected to for 17 years?
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, there's maybe a couple, but yeah, I mean, mainly, you know, with him, it's just, yeah, you know, that's my little bro, man. Yeah. You know, and so So it makes sense, man. And it's just you just carry on that same chemistry.
Yeah.
Do
you have any guests that you want to announce at this moment that maybe could be appearances?
Yeah, I mean, well, so what we've been also doing is once a month we've been trying to have like an out of town legend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to spark up just to keep the mix, keep it funky, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we had Master Ace, he was our first, and so cool, man. And just, I mean, God, man, I reached out to him on Instagram, and I mean, he got back to me within a matter of like 25 minutes, and was just like, it was like, and at first he was like, it sounds interesting. He's like, do you guys use Zoom? Or do you guys use Zoom?
Yeah.
And I'm like, we could, but honestly, because it's an app, I've just seen that it, the quality gets a little distorted sometimes.
Yep.
I think it'd be better if you just filmed it from your phone, like your actual camera phone, and then just emailed it to us like that.
Yeah, the raw file.
Exactly. And then I sent him Ramses Jaws episode as a reference, and then he hit me back. You could tell he watched it too, because he hit me back exactly 34 minutes later. It's like the duration of the time of that episode, and was like, now that I see the quality, I understand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Bro, you jimmied him.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly, man. So I was like, yeah, my brother, I wouldn't hit you with anything less, man. You know what I mean? So yeah, he got it to us within a couple weeks, and that was the first one that we had. And then the second one we had recently, who was a part of his camp also, was Wordsworth. Mm-hmm. And if, for those who aren't familiar with Wordsworth, I mean, just remember the show The Lyricist Lounge on MTV.
Yeah.
And so super good guy also. The one that right now that is pretty much a go. We're just waiting. Actually, I just sent him the format and the questions yesterday. Was Cool Rock Ski of the Fat Boys.
Oh shit.
Yeah, man. Because God rest his soul, man. Prince Marky D. Him and I kind of created a cool little relationship last year on Instagram, and I used to always follow his page. He'd go live and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember asking him, if he would be down to be on the show, and he was like, yeah, just let me know. You know what I mean? And then he passed
damn.
He passed, shortly after that. So, but Cool Rock Ski, man, it's just he's the last living member, of the group, and so reached out to him. And yeah, man. So that should be our next that we have.
Your next out of towner.
Got locked in, and got a couple others, but I don't want to jinx anything. You know what I'm saying, man? So we'll just kind of play it by ear. But as far as locally too, I definitely want to reach out and hopefully eventually get. I know her brother real well, Greg, but I really want to get Cece Peniston on the show. And I know she was going through some personal stuff, and then they had she had just done a lot of interviews in 2020. She was a little burnt out, so
yeah.
But I know her brother real well, so I reached out to him, and we're gonna see about setting that up. Hopefully, maybe end of the year,
Yeah.
So that'll be nice
Something
too, man.
to look forward to.
Yeah, because I mean that's Arizona, man. And just trying to get a lot of the established, the big names, you know what I mean, and get them going. So
that's good, man.
But yeah, it's been consistent, man. It's work, but in a sense, I mean, it's when you're doing something you love, you know what I mean, it changes everything.
Well, when you believe in it,
and when you believe,
yeah,
like that is the biggest part of it all, man. Like you have to believe in what you're doing. You have to be, like you don't have to be on your own dick and shit, you know what I mean? But like, it's like you have to just really be like your biggest supporter, because, and you have to always remember, and I learned this from just being in music too back in the day, when, you wouldn't have certain people's support, maybe people that you knew and stuff like that. You end up taking it personal, and, what you have to remember is that this is your dream, not theirs.
Yeah.
This is, and no one owes you anything. No one owes you shit, man. You know what I mean? Like, this is, you do what you love, you do it from your heart, and whatever comes from that comes from that.
Yeah.
That's what's meant for you. But you have to always do it. You can't go in with that mindset, with those intentions. That shouldn't be your intent. You do it from your heart. You do it because you love it. You got to remember. And then if the ego gets a little out of control at times, when things may be popping off, you got to remind yourself of why you're doing this.
Yeah.
Why you started this. You know what I mean? And doing those little things will bring you back to reality.
Good. Yeah, because we get expectations.
Oh, for sure, man. And I'm at that point, man, where it's just, I'm not here to, the only expectation, the Most High, what the universe, whatever. It's like, whatever, those expectations are, that's what I'm trying to fulfill.
Trying to fulfill
you
those.
Know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's perfect, because it takes yourself out of the equation. It takes yourself out of what does Dave want and what do I want to gain from this, instead of like addressing it from a different point of view and be like, okay, well, what is this higher power, or the ether, what's the calling there?
Exactly, man, exactly. And so so that's just kind of where we laid with it. And so it's been good, man.
Yeah,
it's been good. It's like, I had taken a hiatus, for about 3 years. Kind of went through some things, and then it's like had to kind of figure things out again, reinvent myself. And
what helped you get back on though? Like, were you praying or meditating more? Or?
Yeah, shit, yeah. I just think, I really think, seeing a lot of losing a lot of people, loved ones, was losing a lot of them last year. And I think what happened was it really just kind of like put me in that perspective of that, we're all on borrowed time.
Seriously.
We really are, man. It's like you're here today, you're gone tomorrow. You just got to just do the best that you can, with the time that you do have here. And you just got to give it your all, man, because nothing's promised, and it can all end just like that.
Yeah.
So I just told myself, if the time was any better, it's now.
Yeah,
like, let's just do it.
Man.
Let's just do it, Dave. You know what I mean? Like, let's do it, man. And just don't think about it. Just do it. The more you think about it, you're gonna overthink, because I don't know if it's just a Gemini thing, but we're like the biggest overthinkers. You know what I mean? And it's like, you just have to do it, man.
Well, especially if you're looking to be perfect. If you're always trying to perfect everything,
and that's the other thing too.
Try to do your best, but
you just give it your best, man. It's like I love this saying by Les Brown, man. He's a motivational speaker. He used to be married to Gladys Knight back in the 90s, but he always says this, and I love it. He always says, all you can do is all you can do, and all you can do is enough, just as long as you do all you can do.
You know
what I mean?
That is a good one.
And once you know that, it's just that's it. It's like you gave it your all, man. You know what I mean? It's like you can't. There's no second guessing. You gave it your all.
Yeah,
you did it.
If you left it all on the court or on the field,
right?
How can you be upset?
How can you be upset, man?
You gave it your all.
You gave it your all. You did all you can do. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I went with it, man. I was like, let's just do this, man. What's the worst that can happen, right? So
my mom tunes in. That's great, dude. Let's go.
Yeah, man.
There you go, Ma.
Yeah, exactly. And she loves the show, man. And my father does. My father loves the show, and it's awesome, dude. It's a good feeling. You know what I mean? So we're pushing.
You were mentioning another avenue that you could probably take. Is that something you want to touch on?
Yeah, so I do want to eventually get it to where Just Give Me 5. I mean, technically, at the moment, we're considered media.
Yeah.
But I really want to get it to where we're actually like full-fledged media. And best example I can give, like I was telling you earlier, would be Yo MTV Raps. You had Dr. Dre and Lover, and on the show, and you had them, interviewing the guests, playing their music, playing other music, doing that part of it. And then you had Fab Five Freddy, who was hitting the streets, and was going to these live events, whether it was at the Apollo Theater, or whether it was a spot in Brooklyn, and was interviewing people on the spot live, and I do want that. I do want our show to eventually be that as well, you know. And so you know, we would just release those under the same channel, you know what I mean, and it'd just be more content to add to the show, you know. So whether it's somebody's you know, whether it's a release party for somebody, right? Maybe DJ Premier is out here and he's having a listening party. We happen to attend, and you know, you interview him on the spot, you know, or you interview some people there that are, you know, that are part of it, or they're there to attend.
Yeah.
Just those kinds of things, you know. And I was, and I can do that kind of shit all day. So, you know. So
you're the next Mario Lopez? Is that what I'm hearing?
Oh man, you know, I'll take it, man. Let's do it. You know what I mean?
That dude is not aging, right?
He just is not, man. Got a chance to meet him back in 2016.
Yeah.
A buddy of mine had a tequila company, and they were doing and he was he was part of the merge in that business. So they had him at like Total Wine. He was there taking photos and stuff. And
bet you that line was.
Yeah. Well, I'd gotten there like early, so it wasn't as bad. But my buddy was, as the day progressed, it got out of control. So yeah, good guy though, man.
Yeah,
good guy.
Total Wine. So you gave up alcohol, right?
So you know, I mean, gosh, I mean at the time, I think I'm like 16 months sober or something like that. And you know, I just. I don't know, man. It's like, I guess, you know, you never really necessarily know, like, if you have a problem until you, like, kind of, like, step away from something and you have time to actually analyze it.
Yeah.
Because when you're just in the shit, you're in the shit. Like, it's not, you know what I mean? It's hard for you to tell anything. But when you step back and kind of analyze things, you're like, geez, man, like, I was doing that. Wow, I was doing this, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, I just got tired of the wear and tear it was doing on my body, man, and the hangovers and just certain situations that I just didn't feel were healthy for me, both physically and mentally.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what, man, and then especially with everything going on last year, it was like, God, there was just so much depression, you know, and it's like I just felt like if I go to that, it's just gonna make things worse.
Yeah, it can amplify.
Absolutely, that. You know, because that's what was happening when I was drinking. It got to the point where it was just depressing me.
Yeah.
You know, it was taking me to bad places, and I didn't want to be there. You know, and so I said, you know what, man, let's do this. You know, in 2010, I did a 6-month challenge. From December to May, I did this thing where I went 6 months sober.
To May 4th, right?
Yeah, around
Cinco de Mayo. Back on.
Well, yeah, exactly. And my sister was graduating from ASU, and I told myself I'm gonna wait until, you know, I'm gonna do it until her graduation.
Yeah.
So so I did that, man. Oh my God! And that night I just got like annihilated because I was such a lightweight. I lost so much weight. That's the thing too. You lose a lot of weight, and so yeah, man, I was pretty effed up that night, but yeah, man, this is by far the longest I've ever gone. You know, I'm like about 16, almost 17 months in now, and I feel good, man. You know, and I just feel like I'm getting more accomplished, man. Like I'm getting more done. You know, it's like that's the most important part of it all. You know, like I'm not, you know, I don't know, man. It's like, and I just feel like we're in go mode right now, so it's like. I don't want to jeopardize anything. I don't want to slow anything down.
Yeah.
You know, and then too, it was like shit. Then you had COVID, and it was like all this shit going on. I'm like, dude, I want to keep my immune system as good as possible.
Yep.
Like, I don't want to risk anything. You know, like I was like,
it was a wake up call for a lot of us.
It was. I went and got an STD test. I was like, yo, I just need to find the fuck out. Like, we need to know what's going. I want to make sure we are good. You know what I'm saying? Like, on all aspects and shit.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, like, you know what I mean? Because shit was crazy, man. It was wild.
Bro, was it wild? I mean, I've been married, so like, was it wild, like, to like try and date, and COVID is happening, like.
Dude, I'm not even gonna front, dog. I have no problem because I've been a ladies' man since I was 13 years old, man. I didn't date.
Yeah,
I didn't. I was like, and that was another thing too, where it was like, it was kind of like a peaceful, like just like this mindset switch, where I felt like this is all part of my healing.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, no, I'm not even gonna do that. You know, and it was very different. If you know me, it was very different. That's all I'm gonna say. But
are you snippy, dude? Jimmy, tell us, was he a little aggravated?
Right? You know, but you know, it's you know, it was good. You know what I mean? It was something positive.
Well, do you feel like maybe like
and it's all about discipline.
Yeah,
that's the main part, man. Is you have to have self-discipline.
The call to discipline.
You know,
that most of us don't
and
want.
Yeah, man, you have to have mental discipline and you have to have self-discipline. You know, like I remember Bruce Lee said, you know, once you master discipline, you master life. Because that's the biggest thing, man. So it was like, shit, I went a whole year of not eating red meat. That's discipline.
That is huge.
Especially when you're used to eating carne asada and steaks and burgers.
Oh, you stopped getting invited to cookouts, huh?
Oh yeah, man. You know what I mean?
Dave ain't drinking. Dave ain't
he ain't
eating
doing none of that shit. You know what I mean? So you start having these changes, right? And but it all resorts back to discipline. You know.
And if you're doing it, like people think that like you're withholding yourself from something that then like it's a negative.
Right.
But when you're doing it for the right reasons, it's really not.
It's a
it
positive.
affords you all this extra freedom to actually, when you want to indulge, it's not going to be like, damn, I did it again. No, it's going to be like, you know.
Well, it's like you earned it.
And you earned it, but don't do it just to earn it. But when you're there, acknowledge it. Say, man, you know, it is what it is.
Right.
You know?
Don't judge yourself or tear yourself down.
I'm not going to fucking go down the drain with it. No.
Right. It's like, no, you know, okay, we're here, and it was a good time. The vibe was good. Yeah, I had a couple drinks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is what it is, you know? You know what I mean? So, and you know, who knows, man? You know what I mean? Eventually, but just at the moment, I've been good. Yeah, I've just been good. I mean, it's funny, my mother... just yesterday, I was at her place. We were swimming and stuff, and for the 4th, and you know, I even told her, I was like, because she's fully, she's seen me in some bad times, so so she loves it, you know, but she's just like, do you miss it? And I'm like, you know, there's parts I miss the good times,
the camaraderie that comes from
you know, the good moments from it, but then it's like all of a sudden, like boom, out of nowhere, it's like the bad time. It's like the devil saying, like, or whatever. He's like, you know, yeah, man, remember when you was doing this? Like, this was fun, huh? And then all of a sudden, like, God or your angel or somebody comes up and is like, yeah, but remember you did this too, Dave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you get that balance, and it's like, shit, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you're right. You know what I'm saying?
Totally. So
yeah, you know, but it's been good, man. You know, it's just, we're just moving forward.
Well, as long as you're on a road to better yourself,
that's it, man.
That's the end goal, man.
That's the end goal.
Everybody gets to a better place differently, and you know, some people might not agree with it, but if everybody's acting in the way to have your own best interests in mind and grow,
right?
How can you hate on that?
Exactly. Man? Oh, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, it can only be because if I'm not right, then how is the show gonna be right? How are we gonna be right? You know what I mean? My family, you know, or something. You know, it's like you gotta take care of self always, man. And it's not selfish. You're on some self-ish.
Yeah, that's. Oh man, that is good. I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, man. You know.
Oh shit.
So it's just, you know, it's just progressive movements in your life, you know.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing, man. We were talking about earlier doing things that you're passionate about for the right reasons. Did you ever either get talked into a song? Because you're a rapper and lyricist. Did you ever maybe get talked to a song that you like, damn, I wish I wouldn't have done that one? Or, you know, I wasn't the biggest fan of that one because somebody else pushed me to do it.
Absolutely. I have no problem with admitting that. Absolutely. A few times in my life. You know, I did a couple just because they were paying, you know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah,
some situations like that where, it was a little corny, but, you know, I got paid type stuff. And you know what, man? Like, in all reality, too, man, like, I'm not even mad at that because that's just the business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's like there's artists who get paid, you know, who do jingles, and they may be like top tier lyricists. You know, that's not their passion. That's not what they know they're capable of.
Yeah.
But it's paying the bills right now.
Paying the bills.
You know, so you're doing these McDonald's jingles, 1, 2, 3 ABC kind of shit, right?
Yeah.
But it's keeping the lights on.
Yeah.
So sometimes when it comes to a point like that, you know, where you just may need some extra income, oh well, you know. I did this for this company out here actually. Well, the company was based out of here, but I was doing this stuff in about 4 years ago, and it was with it was a voiceover work that I was doing for this company, and the company they ran the whole LA County Elementary School District.
Okay.
So what we were doing is it was a rap, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it was kind of in a sense of like for a curriculum, you know what I mean, for like a class, and it was for I want to say it was for 3rd graders.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a 3rd grade class, and we were doing that, and these guys had the stuff all written out for me, you know what I mean? So I didn't write any of this.
You were just the vessel to
For
relay what they wrote out.
For sure.
Yeah.
They needed the voice. They knew I got a good voice. They know that I have a musical background. I'm in the scene. I'm doing these things. It's going to work. You know what I mean? So I did that, you know, and I mean, it wasn't necessarily corny, you know what I mean? But it was, it just wasn't what you know what I mean? What I know that I do.
But also you can do the pros and cons. I mean, it was for school.
It was for schools.
For 3rd graders.
Yeah,
Come on,
you know,
dude.
it was beautiful. I mean, and that's really how. And I'm not even gonna front, dude. Like, they were paying well.
Yeah.
I mean, I was knocking out like 2 a week, and they were like, you know, nice checks, you know, that I was getting, you know, and I'd get them like once a month, and they were these good checks. So I did that with them for about. I mean, it wasn't long. It was maybe like a few months.
Okay.
Yeah, a few months. We would keep it somewhat consistent, where it would be 2 a week, and then it would be like 1 a month. But it was duration of time was about 3 months, 90 days. And then it just we just stopped, you know, like it just the project ended.
Mm-hmm.
And then the studio that I was recording at was a studio called AU Studios. It was on they're off of 7th Street in McDowell.
Mm-hmm.
They're across the street from like the Sonic.
Not too far from here.
Yeah, no, yeah, they're right up the street. And so I was working there. Good guys, man, real good guys. But yeah, we just stopped, you know, and I haven't heard from them in about 4 years now, you know. But it was fun, you know. But that's just, I guess, just one quick little example I can give of, you know what I mean, of
That's something that wasn't a passion,
wasn't necessarily a passion, wasn't necessarily my regimen, you know, sort of say, but it was still fun, and it was and it had purpose.
Yeah, it had purpose. And what, you know, people can try and clown on that, but how many people are working a job day in and day out that doesn't follow any sort of passion? At least that involved, you know, rapping and reciting lyrics for you.
Exactly, dude. No, it's exactly like, yeah, man. I didn't have any problems with it at all. You know what I mean?
And you should. I'm gonna tell you right now, Dave. If you did, I would tell you not to.
There we go.
It's like, Dave, you stopped that right this minute.
There we go. See, feel better already.
Talk about feeling better, man. You're decked out in Suns gear.
Goodness gracious,
and they
man.
back in it.
You know, they are. Oh man, you know,
and not without a fight, dude. They're beat up.
Yeah, man. You know, it's beautiful, man. You know, and I, you know, I mean, we've been here before. You know, it's been since 1993. You know, I wasn't born, you know, in the 70s when we went the first time we went to the Chip, but you know, we're in the you know, we're here, and you know, it's just it's great, man. Like, I just feel like it's our time. You know, I don't want to jinx anything, but I just feel like it's our time, man. You know, it's like I mean, I saw it last year. You know, they did a hell of a job last year in the bubble without CP.
Yeah.
And it's like now, you know, we have him. Granted, that guy's had to go through hell. You know, like damn. So when he was doing his speech, you know, at the end of the last game, you know, to end the Clippers' run of the Western Conference Finals, I almost cried, dude. Like, I felt, dude, it was like, because it's like, you know what this guy's been through, and he's been in the league since 2005, you know, like, he's been, you know, 16 years, dude. And you know how much the league's hated on him, and You know, I mean, just giving him such a bad rep, and then all the injuries. I mean, God, even that night he was saying that just the day before that game, he had to get an MRI on his wrist. You know what I mean? Because they think he tore a ligament. You know, it's like, so it's like, dude, it's just like, where does it end? You know?
Yeah.
But so to see that, man, was really great, and I love Devin Booker. You know, and I'm very happy to finally see, because I've always said DeAndre Ayton. I'm like, God, that guy has so much passion, or so much, no, not necessarily passion, I'm sorry.
Potential.
He has so much potential, and it's like he just doesn't see it, you know, and it used to just drive me nuts. I'm like, this guy is just like big for nothing, you know. I was like, he's not using it. Oh, man, but this year, oh, man, the hunger, it's like something, his sleeping giant woke, and it's like, dude, he is a beast, you know?
Yeah. I wonder what the new additions were this year, because I don't follow sports as closely as I did before.
Yeah, well, I know, because last year he got in trouble with weed, and he had to miss like the first like 40 games or something.
Jesus.
It was something ridiculous, man.
For cannabis.
For freaking cannabis, you know what I mean? And so, so now, man, he's tapped in, dude. He's
Good.
tapped in, man. So,
he's here to for payback.
He is, dude. He is, man. You know, and it's been nice, man. And then you got, Mikal Bridges is a beast. You know, you got Payne. You know, these guys like they just were testing out. You know what I mean? And Monty Williams, he's a damn good judge of character of talent. You know what I mean? Like he knows what he's doing.
Because it's a team. People forget. People think that you can get just the best players.
Right.
Of every team, and we'll create that, and then they're just going to be the best team. And it's like, nah, I don't operate that way.
No,
man.
not at all, dude.
It's like you said, judge a character, the relationships that they're going to build on and off the court, mainly on the court. You have to work as a cohesive unit, man. You can't. I mean, look how much some of these big names have struggled.
Absolutely. When
you try to just throw money at it.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, and so, I mean, if you can make it work, by all means, and I just feel like James Jones, knows what he's doing, and yeah, man, the league just looks good, man. Robert Sarver, he's been making good choices for them as well, and I just feel like it's our time, dude. And
it would be good too, because our name is Phoenix.
Yeah,
and
man.
we're coming out of COVID. Come on, it's synonymous, bro. Come
on. Yeah, exactly. I like that. That's very true. And Milwaukee already has a ring, dude.
Yeah, Milwaukee, stop being greedy.
You know what I mean? It's our time, dog. Let us just get one.
Share the wealth.
Let us just get one. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do after, So, but it's been exciting, man. Been exciting, So, rally the valley, That's the new saying now. Rally the valley.
Right after Suns in 4.
Suns in 4, man.
That dude went wild.
That dude, gosh, man. Yeah, that guy became an overnight sensation for sure, man.
I haven't seen any interviews with him. I know that, there has to be some, but
it's funny. They did an interview on the guy that he fought. I forgot his. I don't know. I think it was his name, Edgar or something like that. Like they interviewed him.
If you say his name, I'm gonna go back and bleep it out, anyways.
Yeah. Bleep that shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, they interviewed him. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, interview this guy. You know what I mean? But
how'd you feel taking the L? Is that what they asked him?
Something, yeah. It's like, just don't even give this guy any shine, But,
dude, do you follow baseball at all?
Man, not as much as I used to.
Yeah.
God, the D-backs were just looking terrible this year.
They have
unfortunately, and I'm not even gonna attempt to pretend. You know what I mean?
I'm just tripping at that dude. What's his name? Shohei Ohtani or something like that?
Yeah.
He kept killing it. Like, bro, like, don't stand in his way. Like, please, let him continue being great.
Yeah.
That dude's killing it, man.
Yeah, man.
Killing it on the pitching mound. I think he plays in the on the field too, and then home runs like crazy.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't follow it, but every now and then, when people share those memes and stuff, I'm just like, dude, this guy is blowing Babe Ruth out of the water, essentially.
Yeah, dude.
It's crazy when people like that come around, when you're able to witness greatness.
It is, man. Yeah, and it's almost like you're seeing it from its infancy stages.
Yeah.
Like when you see a rookie, come to the league, and you're like, wow, I mean, people were probably feeling that way when they saw Jordan come to the league. They were like, you know, it's pretty cool. He looks like he's going to be all right, you know, or something. Maybe he'll be a good player, you know, or something, right? And he ends up being Michael Jordan, you know?
Dude. And I've had that conversation with people before where it's, because we know people where everything came naturally to them.
Yeah.
And what happened? They took it for granted and fell by the wayside.
Yeah, for sure.
So to me, we almost haven't seen like the epitome of a physical force in most of these sports. I mean, we've seen like some legit people, Bo Jacksons,
right?
You know, freaking badass running backs.
God, I got a funny, well, not a funny, but it's a kind of messed up Bo Jackson story.
Oh, enlighten me.
I met Bo Jackson, man. You know, they always say never meet your heroes, right? But this just like happened. Like, so it was my 13th birthday, man, and we were at the Hard Rock Cafe. They used to be across the street from the Biltmore. This is like 1997 or something, and and we're eating, you know, and my mom it was my mom. Yeah, she saw him. He walked in with two guys, and she was like, "Mio, you should, you know, it's Bo Jackson. Maybe you could tell him it's your birthday. Maybe, you know, he'll do something right, harmless, right? You know what I mean?" And I'm kind of like on that cool shit, like, nah, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to bother him. I don't want to bug him. She was like, "Nah, it's your birthday. You should just tell, you know, something." So I was like, all right. So I walked up, you know, and I was like, hey, Bo, and I went to just like shake his hand, and he was like, "Nah, kid, nah, not today," or something, and he just kept walking, like just gave me the cold shoulder, right? And I was just like, wow, you know what I mean? And so, you know, but I was kind of like, whatever. I didn't want to really, not even on no like on no get back shit. I just was like, I was like, dude, I didn't even want to come to talk to you anyway. I really legitimately did not.
Yeah.
And so, so I go over and I'm telling my mom, and she was like, "What?" She's like, she like wanted to kick his ass.
Yeah.
It was so, you know, moms, you know.
Yep.
And so she was like, "Man, you know, the hell with him. You know, you don't do that. You're a kid, you know." And
Yeah.
And I was like, you know. So then it's funny, like, because that's happened to a couple people that I've met, you know what I mean, and later on in life, you know, that I admired, you know, and you know, you just kind of just look at it like it is what it is, you know, like. Yep. But then it's like you get older and you kind of put yourself in situations where, you know, who knows, man? Maybe they had just told him that he was going to have like a really shitty contract, or something probably could have happened, right? Or to just, and it literally probably happened within 3 minutes prior to me walking up to him. You know what I mean? You just never know, man. You know, guy could have found out his mother just had a heart attack. You know, and you're right, just something, right?
Yep.
We never know what people are going through. You know what I mean?
Internal battles they're going through.
Right, dude. So I didn't really, you know, it just was. I brought it up because you just brought up his name, so I was like, look, I just got to get that shit off real quick. But yeah, man, you know what I mean? It is what it is. You know? But that's my Bo Jackson story, you know.
That's a good one. I didn't even want to shake your hand anyways, Bo.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was like, yeah, Bo knows how to be an asshole. You know, I used to just say little things and shit. But, you know, it is what it is, man.
Yeah. Oh, dude. What was I saying about greatness? Hold on. Let me capture that point.
Yeah.
No, you're good. That we've seen probably greater mental specimens than we have physical specimens. Because the physical specimens, again, it came so easy to them.
Yeah.
That their head wasn't in it anymore, right?
Right.
And so what you get with a Tiger Woods, with the Tom Brady, with I mean, but Tom Brady, what's a more perfect example than Tom Brady?
Right.
Is he a physical specimen? No.
Right.
But does he have the mental aptitude to ask his body and his body come through with the requirements to, you know, become as great as he is?
Right. Exactly.
I don't know how I feel about Tom Brady. Some people don't like him, but
no,
you know.
man, you gotta respect greatness, man. I mean, like, you know, yeah, it's like, you know, he's not the quarterback for my team, but there's other great quarterbacks. It's like, you know, the dude is a beast, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is, man. You know, like, you know, I'm not a Packers fan, and I love Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Brett Favre was great. You know what I mean? Like, you just respect greatness, man. Like, it just is what it is. You know, it's okay to be a fan of of certain people.
That brings up a great point I bring up to my son, man. My son is so competitive, dude. He's just anything you tell him he's slow, he like takes it personal. Or if he loses, he almost doesn't want to try new things because he doesn't want to fail.
He doesn't want to fail,
bro.
That's how I used to be, man.
Yeah. And so you
get content with winning and succeeding.
Yeah.
And then it's like, that fear factor comes in. Well, if I do this, and if you don't take criticism well, that's where it all goes into play. Because if you don't give a shit what people say, you're going to do everything.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm going to play hockey today. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know how to skate. You know what I mean? But it's like, I'm going to do this shit. You know what I mean?
Fall on my face, but it's all right, dude.
I'm going to probably break my jaw, but we're going to be all right. I'm going to still do it. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just all about perspective, and it's about just how you take things,
Yeah. And the one thing I'm trying to get him to understand is like, he's like, he wanted me to lose. And it's like, no, like your sister didn't want you to lose. She just wanted to win. Like we've been playing Candyland and stuff, and he's just like takes it hard.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, no, understand that, nobody, I mean, there's some people, but for a majority of people, like you're not rooting against Aaron Rodgers. You're not rooting against the Bucks. You're rooting for your team. You're rooting for somebody. You want to win, but inevitably there has to be a loser. So I'm trying to get him to grasp that. Like, listen, buddy, it's competition, right? You want to win, right? Do you want her to lose?
Right.
And he's like, well, yeah. But I was like, but hold on. Do you want to win or do you want her to lose? He's like, well, I want to win. I was like, okay. Like, that's how you gotta look at it.
Right. It's almost like they say, man, like it's okay to be messed up in the head every now and then, man. We all go through it, but it's all about, but if you have a bad heart, that's a whole nother ball game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
that's just like that deep seething ill will.
That's malicious. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's the difference. You know what I mean? We all can be messed up in the head sometimes, man. It's just life. You know what I mean? But when you're messed up in the heart, that's a whole nother ball game.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's a good one too, man.
So
Dave, you're full of good ones, goddammit.
Yeah.
Who's teaching you all this, man?
Right. I've just lived a little, It all comes from experience, Yeah,
man. When those times you don't black out.
Yeah. And even those times, I learned. So how old is your son?
He's 5.5.
Okay. So he's at that age where, so he's
day one, dude.
He's still learning. He
started lying before my daughter did, who's a year older than him.
Oh, really?
Dude, lying. I mean, that's a sign of intelligence, because as a kid, you think that your parents know everything you do. Right. So there becomes a point in time where they realize that, like, oh, wait, I'm my own person. I can kind of get away with certain things.
Right.
He's a tough man. He's a tough cookie, dude. Like,
yeah.
I hope to introduce him to you one day, dude.
Sure.
Bro, he is teaching me so much, because he's got my wife's like rage and pridefulness and all that, like the Latina.
Yeah.
But it's unchecked because he's 5.5 years old, dude.
Right.
He just doesn't know what all these feelings really mean yet.
Yeah, for sure, man.
And so I'm learning so much from how to handle him, because we're opposite. My daughter's more like me in temperament. And I'm just like, we gotta, like, if we can harness his like just power in the right direction,
right?
Cool, because he can easily go down.
Does he like does he like sports?
He loves sports, dude.
Because that's where you can get a lot of that out.
He needs to learn how to lose. Yep,
he's got to learn how to lose, man, and he's got to learn how to play with others. He's got to learn how to be a team player.
Yep.
Communication, all that, it teaches you all that shit.
Which
you know what I mean?
Yeah, because which is crazy, bro. He has the ability to comprehend like how the ball's gonna bounce. For sure. Certain things when it comes to sports.
For sure.
To the point where like we had him in the small soccer league, and the kids they're ducks, right? They're ducks just following the ball. Where he eventually picked up, and I didn't even fucking tell him. He picked up where he's like, oh, if I kind of hang about 10 feet outside of that ball, eventually the ball pops out,
right,
and I can take it by myself, nobody around me, and I score,
right.
And I was like, and he's like this, right, while everybody else is chasing it like ducks, he's like waiting for it, pops out, goes and scores. And then I eventually told him, I was like, all right, buddy, listen, we're up 5-0. I was like, you gotta start passing it. And then he would score and be like, I scored. And I'd be like, good job. I would tell him, good job. I was like, good job. I was like, I need you to pass it, bro. I need you to become a team player. I was like, a great player makes other players even better.
Absolutely, man.
So
exactly,
I'm trying
man.
to instill that in him because he's so much wants to. I want to win. I want to do this.
Yeah.
I mean, we're kids, dude.
So of course
That's
he
what it
wants
is.
to come at the end of the day and say, Daddy, I did it. Did you see me?
Yeah.
Daddy, did you see me?
Totally.
That's normal, dude. That's
Yeah.
normal. You know what I mean? Especially when you have that not necessarily that insecurity, but it's just the fact that you don't take criticism too well.
Again, dude.
You know, when you have that, it's like that, you know, that can go a long way, you know what I mean? And so I was the same way, dude. I was like that man. Growing up, I was
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly, right? Still have issues, but like, yeah, you want to, and then it's your parents, dude. You know what I mean? Like, and see, for me, I wasn't the greatest in sports. I'll admit it. You know what I mean? Was decent in baseball. I'm left-handed. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, they always said I could have been a great pitcher, but it just wasn't fully my passion, dude.
Yeah.
You know, and at the end of the day, that's just what it was. I was more into the arts factor of it, and then in music, man. I just fucking love music, and so, you know, but it was tough at first because my father was good in sports, but he wasn't like great. You know, it wasn't really his passion. My mother was great in sports. So and she was great in softball. So like when I would play baseball, my mom would always be at my games.
Yeah.
But my mom's the type that, you know, she just always has my back, man. You know what I mean? And it's like, she knows, you know, I've been through a lot in my life. And so she knows that, you know, and so, you know, is always encouragement, but my mom's just straight up, dog. Like you know, she's gonna let you know what's on her mind. You just gonna have to eat that. You know what I mean? But that stuff, I think that just makes you stronger in life too, man. Because you know, it gives you that you know, it breaks those. It's just, I don't know, man. It's something that I feel like more parents these days should do that because these kids are so sheltered, man.
Super.
Nothing wrong with being sheltered to an extent, man. Like, I mean, it's to the point. Like when we were growing up, right? If your mother was introducing you to one of her friends, maybe you guys were at the mall and you bump into a friend of hers, and she's introducing you, and you kick that shy shit, and you try to like sit behind her, and she immediately would be like, you know, don't you do that, don't you be disrespectful, you say hi. You know what I mean? You didn't have that option, bro. It was like, no, you say hi, don't you do that. These parents nowadays, it's like, he's just shy, sorry, he's socially awkward, you know, or something, you know. It's just some shit, right? Like he's antisocial. It's just all this shit, these excuses that you're giving these kids, and it's not going to better them in the long run. They're just going to grow up to continuously be hermits. They're not going to want to be around people. I mean, it's so bad now. You know, last year really messed it up for a lot of people, but
immensely.
It's just for the past like 10 years, dude. Like, seriously, to be honest with you, since social media came out,
why do you have to go out, dude?
Why do I have to leave? I have my phone. I can communicate with you just now. I mean,
food.
I just
Amazon?
got exactly, bro. Exactly. Oh, and then the pandemic made that worse. I don't even have to fucking go to the grocery store. I can just pick up my shit outside.
And then the dude leaves it because he needs to give you your space.
Yeah.
No, not even like, hey, bro, thanks.
Like,
for
I just
bringing
ordered a pizza the other night, and you know, they still give you that option of, do you want no contact or do you want the door? I was like, oh, knock on my fucking door. You know what I mean? Like, I want to get my pizza. So, you know, it's just that kind of stuff, man. And I just feel like parents that are doing that to these kids,
it's a disservice.
It's a total disservice, man, because you're not helping them grow. You know, because and then it comes with the whole, like, everyone gets a trophy, a participation trophy, that whole mindset these days too, man, where, you know, everyone's a winner. No, man, like, the reason competition was lined up is because there's a winner and there's a loser, but it's just part of the game. It's the same reason why debates were formed. You know what I mean? Because one person's going to be right and one person's going to be wrong. And if we still can't come to a resolution, we still want to be able to give people a platform to debate. You know, like, you want to be able to give your opinion.
Well, to touch on that debate, though, I think that actually has hindered a lot of people in a lot of conversations, because you won't talk to somebody because they're wrong. You believe they're wrong.
Right,
so
dude.
You can't just shun them out because you think they're wrong.
Exactly, man. You know,
have to have a conversation.
Absolutely, bro. Like you know, and the media, unfortunately, plays a huge role. They milk off of all this shit.
Well,
man.
when people click in because you're angry,
Yeah.
what engages somebody more than writing something negative? When you have a good experience at a bar,
right,
cool. When you have a bad experience at a bar, wow, I need to let people know.
exactly,
how bad it
dude.
was.
Like I was seeing a therapist last year, right, man? You know, and my doctor was like, I was telling him straight up, I was like, yeah, you know, I was reading my reviews on you, you know what I mean? I was like, you know, like I just got, you know, I'm like, dude, like I gotta make sure I'm on point. Like I gotta make sure this guy's legit. I'm not just walking into a fucking ambush, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, I was telling him, I go, yeah, and I saw this one review that this person said, right? And he was just straight up, he was like, you know, normally I don't discuss this, but I'm gonna just do this with you this one time, just to you know, kind of, you know, inform you of the severity of that situation.
Yeah.
And he was just like, you know, this man was beating his wife, da 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 da. You know, this sort of situation, right? He's like, and you know, there was this, and they were having a lot of issues. They were dealing with situations, and I was, you know, he felt that I was on the side of, I was on the woman's side, the wife's side, that I was sticking up for her and the children. And it really, you know, he was elaborating on what happened to give me that, you know, and he goes, so honestly, he goes, I haven't even seen that. I don't check my reviews like that. He goes, but he goes, but I can see why he said that. Yeah. Like he's telling me that, you know, and I was like, damn, I get it, you know, and he's like, you know, he goes, so after that I was like, cool, you know, and so, you know, that's just the way certain things can come across, but you just have to, I don't know, man, like you have to be able to, I mean, dude, I had like Trump supporters in my family, dude. For sure. You know what I mean? And so it's like,
same.
Like I'm just gonna you know, and there used to be a point in time, bro, where it's like, no one gave a shit who your party was. Mm-hmm. I don't care, dude. I don't care, red or blue. In all reality, dog, all that shit is it's just another thing that was set up to divide us, man. Yeah. And ironically, what are the colors of the Republican and the Democrat? Red and blue. It's kind of similar to the Bloods and Crips, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. And what are those? Gangs that were built to divide, right? So all of that shit it's the same thing.
Well,
dude.
we're tribal. I mean, sports teams,
right? You know, it come and then I mean, dude, race, religion. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, don't listen to this person; they're Catholic. Don't listen to them; he's Jehovah's Witness. Yeah. He's a fucking human being. That's a human being, bro. You know what I mean? Yep. And at the end of the day, it's like, whether you believe in the higher power, whether you believe in God or not, whatever, it's like we all, before all of this, we were just human beings, dog. Like all that shit was labeled on us later. Race, you know what I'm saying?
All that shit's learned.
Yeah, it's all learned, bro. You know what I mean? And so now we get to a point where you just got to look at people like you don't want to be colorblind. You know what I'm saying? Where, you know, so when people say that whole shit like, I don't see color, I think that's bullshit.
Then you're not taking them for what they're worth.
Yeah, like, no, you want to see color.
Embrace it.
You want to recognize, no, that's a Native American woman. She's beautiful, and they have a lot of history. That's a Korean man right there. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They got a lot of history. You know what I mean? That's an African American guy. Like, that guy's actually from Nigeria. You know what I mean? Like, he's got a lot of history. You don't want to be colorblind. But it's just a matter of, you don't, you know, the whole difference of it is that don't judge that person by what they are. That's it, dude. You know what I mean? Recognize what they are, who they are, but don't judge them off of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the whole thing, dude. Like, I honestly feel like, now I get the gender portion of job applications. I understand the you know, of having that, especially nowadays. Yeah. But I honestly feel like race should be off of all job applications because it has no point in there.
I don't even know what the argument is for it to be there.
And dude, I found out in Canada, it's illegal to do that. Yeah, we're the only country that does that. Like, when you go to fill out a job application, they ask you what race. Why the fuck does it matter? Yeah. I'm applying at Fry's Food and Drug Store. I'm a human being. That's what I am. Yeah. Why do I have to put that I'm Hispanic or Latino? I'm a human being, dude. You know what I mean? Yep. What does that have to do with the fact that I'm going to be working the cashier? I'm going to be doing this. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's like, now gender, I get it because you got to know how to approach an individual, what to refer them by. But why does my race matter? Now, if I was an illegal alien, I understand the portion on there that asks if I'm a citizen. I get that. That's understandable. But what is all this other shit? Why is it necessary? So then I found out in Canada, it's illegal for them to do that.
Yeah. Well, Canada's super progressive when it comes to certain things.
Right. But it's like, it's just, they look at it like, dude, I'm a human being, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm applying at Guitar Center. You know what I'm saying? Like, what does it matter, dude?
Everybody, where we're shorthanded, everybody apply shit.
Right. You know what I mean? It's just, it's wild,
yeah,
brother.
this day and age where nobody's wanting to work, and it's like, well, before you work, we need to know.
Right.
Before you even submit this application.
I just need to know. You know what I mean? It's just weird, bro. But, you know, it is what it is, man. You know what I mean? I just feel like, but yeah, man, just be a good human being, dude. Be a good human being, man. Have a good heart, man. Yeah. Treat people be kind to people, man. Because like I said earlier, man, how you're gonna be remembered is how you treated people while you were still here.
Yep.
That's it.
And just the one thing I've taken in lately too was, thinking about like multi-universes and like just out there stuff is like. Yeah. That person, sitting right over there, or the person you just interacted with, is essentially you. Say in another universe where it turned out, you had different paths that you went on. Because every time you make a decision, it could lead to a different life. Like I could say right now, let's end this podcast right now. Boom, that's one reality. The next one is, bro, let me order another drink. We're going for another hour. Like that's a different reality. And then where do I leave once we're done? Well, I wrap up, go home. Right. That's a separate reality from us, extending the conversation another hour or whatever. And essentially, how you treat other people could be looked at. That's how you're treating yourself. Picture that yourself, your own self, your soul, in a different reality.
Exactly.
And so, if the roles were reversed and that person's you, how would you want to be treated?
Exactly.
It's the golden rule.
Exactly, man. No, exactly. That's human nature, and that's common sense, man. Yeah. It's just the way I look at it, man. Like just treat people kind, but like they always say, man, hurt people, dude.
So true. It's
just very true, man. And you just gotta be careful too, man. You want to always just be very selective and cautious. And I think that's what last year did for a lot of us too. It made us a lot more selective with who we give our time to. Yep. Because we're on borrowed time, and it's just not promised.
And normalize what you mentioned. You were seeing a therapist. Normalize, talking to a professional,
because that's self-care. It has nothing to do with well, it's a good way of finding out you're not crazy.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? But and it's always good to just come to get an unbiased opinion and an unbiased source. Somebody who doesn't know you from a can of paint, dude. And it's like, and they're just here. They're not here to judge, and that's it, man, and just kind of go from there. I mean, I just feel like it can only help, I mean, I was seeing a therapist at age 7 though, bros. My parents split when I was 6. And so I was seeing a therapist young. They just they pull you in. They just want to just see how you're doing mentally with the transition that's happening in your life. So I wasn't I'm not like a stranger to this stuff. But it had been a long time, and I just felt like I should have been doing this maybe during the times when I was drinking heavily. Could have helped a lot of mistakes that were made. But hey man, every day I wake up, I'm still here. I still have my eyesight, I still have my ears, I can still walk. It's just every day that I'm granted that is another opportunity to change it for the better.
That's beautiful, man. I think that's a good fucking ending, man.
Yeah, man.
You said some good stuff today, man.
That's what's up, brother. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, man. It's life is what you make it. And life is so damn simple. We just tend to make it so fucking difficult.
Yeah.
It's so simple, man. Like, always live with the concept of less is more. When you do that, you don't stress yourself out so much, and just be you. I tell people all the time, live your truth. If you want to be gay, if you're lesbian or whatever, live your, as long as your shit isn't involving children or animals or some crazy shit. Dude, be you, man. You know what I'm saying? Be you, man. Live your truth. Do whatever's gonna make you happy. Do it. Because what else do you have to lose, man? You know, what else do you have to lose, man?
I mean, yourself, if you're not true to yourself.
Exactly. And now we don't want that to happen. So, you know what I mean? You know, so I guess at the end of it, man, I just hope, you know, when it's all said and done, I'm dead and gone. I just hope, you know, someone says, you know, Dave was a real one and he helped me in some kind of way. You know what I mean? So
I think we'll have many people saying that, man. What's the next episode?
So the next episode that we have will be dropping this coming Sunday. And we have my man DJ Shy. Now DJ Shy is definitely a Arizona legend when it comes to the DJ scene.
Yeah.
You know, and it was an honor to have him on the show, man. And when I was coming up, man, I mean, going to the party scene back in the day, like he was that dude, man. Like his name was the one that was in bold on flyers, you know, and so and just being in radio out here and everything, and so now he's in California working. He actually works on the Greg Mack show. Greg Mack, if people aren't familiar with Greg Mack, he is the one who was responsible for finding NWA.
Oh shoot! Okay.
He also found Queen Latifah, and so he is a California legend, and so Shy works with him on the show. I think it's Magic 92. I can't remember, but okay. It's out in LA. But so yeah, he's our next episode.
Hell yeah!
Really, really good stuff, man.
Yeah, that's perfect, man. Well, I would just say, you know, tune in to Dave's freaking awesome YouTube series. Yeah. Prepare yourself for the media mogul he will become. And you heard the message, man. Just love yourself.
Love yourself.
Because you can't love each other if you don't love yourself first.
Right.
Some self-care. Treat yourself, my kings and queens.
Amen.
And
man.
everything in betweens.
You know what it means.
So. All right, Dave, send the people out.
All right, man. Well, you know, this was really, really awesome, man. Much love to my man Juan. This was a really fun episode, and you know, you can go to www.justgimme5.com. We are working on the website right now. It is in the works, but you can go there now, and it links you to our YouTube channel, so that way you can have easier access to the videos. And we do have merch, you know, still that we more stuff that's in the works with that as well as the heat progresses out here. We're gonna start. Everybody's been asking for tank tops, so
sleeveless.
Gonna get the sleeveless going. So those are in the works, and yeah, man. And then if you're on Instagram, you can follow me at Mr. Miranda, and it's spelled out, so MISTER, and then Miranda.
Proper, proper gentleman.
Yeah, yeah. So you can follow me on there. I post a lot of the episodes there, clips and stuff like that. So yeah, man. And then once again, you know, nothing but love to my brother Jimmy Nelson. You know, just continue to follow our journey. So.
Perfect. All the links will be on the YouTube details. Forget what that part is.
Okay. Yeah.
But,
the description.
Yeah, the description. But
yeah. You're good. You're good.
I said too many words today.
You're good, man.
And also on the audio links from any of your streaming services, wherever you take in a podcast, make sure Dave gets me all those links so you guys can stay on top of his progression, man. It's a beautiful thing. Again, thanks so much for setting the time aside and joining me. And I'm glad we moved here, bro.
Oh, I know it, man.
Dude.
We would have been like 95 pounds. You know what I mean? Just from all that sweat in the other room.
We're cooking, so that's, you'll see. I'm gonna edit it, and you'll see we were set up in a different spot first, and then ended up here. So
yeah, man.
Perfect. All right, guys. Shout out to Golden Margarita and Gem Ray for allowing us to film on location. And again, love each other. Peace.
Peace.
Thought we were cool, thought we were friends, dog. I said we are, but you still up on that street shit. And me, I'm trying to avoid death row like Tim, dog. Was watching Pac interviewed by Ed Gordon. Out of them all, I think this is the most important. Cause everything he talked about then is what we're living now.